The rain fell without mercy that night. Under a small bus shelter stood a young woman, her clothes soaked, gently rocking the tiny baby wrapped in her arms. Cars sped past without slowing down. No one noticed her. No one knew that behind those tired eyes was a story that had begun long before this rainy evening. As she looked into her baby's peaceful face, she whispered softly, "I promise, somehow, we'll make it." But life had not always looked like this. Years earlier, she had been a little girl with the biggest dreams. She loved drawing beautiful houses on sheets of paper. While other children played outside, she imagined the home she would one day build for her family. She believed life would be kind to her. She was wrong. As she grew older, pain became a familiar companion. There were days she smiled at school, laughed with classmates, and acted as though everything was fine. But when no one was watching, tears quietly rolled down her face. She learned very early that not every wound could be seen. Still, she never stopped believing tomorrow could be better. Years passed, and she earned admission to university. Walking through those campus gates for the first time, she felt hope again. This, she thought, is the beginning of a better life. She studied harder than anyone around her. Every assignment, every late-night study session, every examination. She believed each one was bringing her closer to changing her family's future. Then she met a young man. He made promises. He spoke about forever. For the first time, she allowed herself to believe someone truly cared. But promises are easy to make. Keeping them is much harder. A few months later, she discovered she was pregnant. Fear gripped her heart. With trembling hands, she reached for her phone. She called him once. No answer. She called again. Nothing. Another day passed. Still nothing. Eventually, she understood. He wasn't coming back. Many people expected her world to fall apart. Instead, the day her daughter was born, everything changed. Holding her close, she realized she had been given a new purpose. She kissed her tiny forehead and whispered, "I don't know how, but I will never stop fighting for you." 6 months later, carrying both her baby and her books, she returned to university. Every morning was a race. Take care of the baby. Attend lectures. Study late into the night. Sleep for only a few hours. Wake up and do it all again. She was exhausted. But she refused to quit. Then another storm arrived. Her father became seriously ill. Without his income, the family struggled to survive. School fees could no longer be paid. One afternoon, she packed her books into a small box. With tears filling her eyes, she slowly walked out of the university gates. She didn't know if she would ever return. It felt like watching her dreams disappear. But dreams have a strange way of waiting for those who refuse to stop believing. To survive, she walked wherever she could. She sold goods beside busy roads. She stood for hours under the hot sun. Some customers smiled. Others ignored her. Yet every coin she earned meant another meal. Another school book. Another chance. Some nights, after putting her daughter to bed, she sat alone in the silence of their small room. She wondered how much longer she could keep going. Then she looked at her sleeping child. And somehow, she found the strength to stand again. People talked. Relatives judged her. Some laughed at her struggles. Others assumed they knew her story. But none of them had walked in her shoes. None of them knew how many tears had fallen after everyone else had gone to sleep. One evening, she stood before a mirror. For several minutes, she said nothing. She simply stared at the woman looking back. Then she smiled. Not because life had become easier, but because she finally realized she was stronger than every storm she had survived. That night changed everything. She started learning again. She studied late into the night. She developed new skills. She refused to allow yesterday to steal tomorrow. Little by little, life began to change. Doors started opening. Opportunities appeared. People who once ignored her began listening to her story. Before long, she stood on a stage before hundreds of people. The audience listened carefully as she shared her journey. Some wiped away tears. Others stood to applaud. Not because she had become rich, but because she had refused to give up. Years later, she walked hand in hand with her grown child along a road glowing with the light of a new sunrise. The tears that once filled her eyes had been replaced by hope. The little girl she had carried through every storm had become part of the victory she once prayed for. As they walked toward the horizon, she smiled quietly. She finally understood. Every painful chapter had been preparing her for this moment. Because sometimes, the strongest people are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who keep getting back up. And every sunrise reminds us that no matter how long the night may be, light always returns.